Welcome to Regional News. We start with a story coming out of Peru. In recent weeks, several videos on social media in Peru have shown migrants being assaulted, threatened, or harassed, sparking concerns that xenophobic attacks on the newcomers are mounting. United Nations data points to an uptick in the number of Venezuelan migrants and refugees who report experiencing discrimination in South America, where the majority have settled. Though difficult to quantify, Peru in particular has become a hotspot. A recently established hotline documented 500 incidents in a single 2 weeks period. The incidents range from housing evictions and wage theft to violent threats and assaults. In one video, a young Venezuelan woman is whipped by assailants on a dark street, leaving purple bruises across her thighs. In another, men dressed in military uniforms announce on a loudspeaker that they won't let another miserable Venezuelan into Peru. In a third, a young man pleads with a dozen officers surrounding him not to take away the small box of chocolates he is trying to sell to make a living. An estimated 4.5 million Venezuelans have fled their nation's economic and humanitarian catastrophe in recent years. According to the United Nations, about half of those are now residing in just two countries, Colombia and Peru. And now we turn to Grenada. The Grenada government says it will ban smoking in public spaces as well as restrict the use and sale of electronic cigarettes on the island. Legal Affairs Minister Kendra Motorine Stewart, speaking at the end of the weekly cabinet meeting, told reporters that the Keith Mitchell administration had taken the decision to table legislation banning the use and sale of vaping and e-cigarettes in Grenada. Grenada already has in place a policy banning smoking in government buildings as well as schools and hospitals, and Stewart says that public space will now be defined as areas where the public congregates, including beaches and recreational areas like parks and playgrounds. And finally, in tonight's regional news, we turn to Trinidad and Tobago. The private sector must play a bigger role in driving the nation's economy, said Ryan Lewis, Director, Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, TTMA. Lewis added that there needs to be new innovative jobs driven by technology. Lewis said that TNT has been losing its competitiveness and it will no longer be the business capital of the region if it continues along this road. He stated that manufacturing is 6% of the country's gross domestic product (GDP), and it is the country's future. However, he added that the world is at the stage of the fourth industrial revolution, and manufacturing practices must be reflected by this era of global development. He also encouraged students to use their secondary education to build their future, as he said many of the other students that they are in school with will be doing business with them one day. Economist Dr. Indira Sejwan said that TNT has to move away from the old energy model into newer areas like wind and solar-driven energy. And that was all for tonight's regional news.